Kia ora. We're going to talk about what success looks like for you, because what it looks like for you is different to what it looks like for me. And this is so important, because if we don't get really clear on what it looks like for us, then we follow what society, social media, our mind tells us is successful, when it just may not even matter to us. So we want to get really clear on what we deem as success, and then work towards that, work towards it, and be focused on that as our anchor, rather than, looking out at what other people have, or what society, social media, our mind tells us is successful, and trying to work towards that. Because if it's not in alignment, you just won't have the steam for it. You won't have the energy and the drive to keep going, because it's not in alignment with us. So, a little story about why this is important to me. Back in 2013, I went to this event, and this event was a part of a health and wellness company that I was doing some network marketing with back in the day. And I went there by myself, and I was just sat next to this wahine, this woman. And we had to do this activity where we sat down and asked each other, what would we do when we were financially free? And, I went first, and I was, I just remember I would go here, I would go there, I would, experience this, I would travel, I would be, free in location. I would have flexibility in my schedule, and I would experience and taste life by traveling around to all these different countries. And I was so alive when I was speaking to her about it. Then we had to swap over. And when it was her turn, I was like, okay, cool, ready to receive her vision and champion her vision. And when she answered, I remember her saying, she didn't have as much energy as me, and she, in terms of how she was flamboyantly expressing it. But she was saying, what I would do when I'm financially free is, and my ideal day would be, me and my partner sitting on our balcony, watching our kids play in the backyard playground that we have. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, yeah, and then what? I was like, and then? And she was like, that's it, that's it. That's what I would love. And I remember this, guys, I was like, okay, but don't you want to do more with that? And she was explaining how her husband works away, and to have him home would just be the greatest blessing. And I was like, I just didn't get it. And I kept pressing to the point where some of the leaders were walking around this huge, there were at least 1,000 people in there, and they were walking around, just helping and sitting, just chatting with anyone who put their hand up or whatever. I put my hand up and I said, hey, can you come over and help her out, because her vision ain't big enough, pretty much is what I was saying. I was, I was like, I think she needs a bit of help, she's a bit lost, this is all she can come up with. It was that energy. And he kind of knelt down beside us and was like, so, prompting her and asking her what her answer was, and she repeated it. And this time it was with a bit of defense, sticking up for her vision. And I was like, is there any, I kept pressing. It's fucking cringe when I think about it. I kept pressing, and then she broke down in tears and was like, that's what brings me peace. It brought her to tears. And in that moment, that was such a teachable moment. In that moment, that's when I learned everybody's version of success is different. What I deem as successful and fulfillment is not the same as what other people are. And I know that viscerally, because I saw a girl break down into tears because someone else didn't understand their vision, what fulfills them and brings them alive, and what brings them peace. So it's time we start asking ourselves, what does success look like for us? and only let that be the guidepost and how we measure what we're doing in our lives. Kia ora.